Here we go. Episode 18 of Chiclets Game Notes. My guy Murls is here, and I did not expect him to be decked out like in the traditional St. Patty's Day attire. Beautiful, unbelievable. Great to see you, Murls. You've had time to adjust and get ready to go. Hello to the chat. The chat room is buzzing. I see our boy Jazz is in there, Murls.
Jazzy
Jazz took down Biz. He's got the belt. He's wearing a Flyers jersey. He's loving it. Good to see everybody here. Murls, my boy. How you doing, big boy? How you doing? How you settling in? How's family happy? The kids are good. Everything's good.
I tell you what, this game notes comes quick on me. 11 a.m. In Sweden, it's 5 p.m. So I have all day to prepare for it. And then even last week, the trade show we did late, so 1 p.m., which came pretty quick for me too. But 11 a.m., I'm up and at it. I'm 100% Irish, so we're celebrating all weekend. I'll be on the Guinness as soon as we get done here. I'm home now, so I got over to my parents for a corned beef dinner. I don't know if we got the picture ready to go. Corned beef and cabbage and potatoes. Look at that, Army.
Oh, my gosh. That is something right there, big boy.
So I don't know. This is how I grew up. I grew up putting the ketchup on the cabbage and a little mustard on the corned beef. I don't know what the chat thinks of that. Am I not Irish for doing that? Or is that the play? I don't know.
You put mustard on the, what do you do?
Corned beef. I like to dip the mustard.
Yeah, I would do that.
I like that play. So
I love that play.
Yeah.
People are commenting.
It's great to be
already.
home. Great to be home and get home cooked meals.
Oh, hell yeah, buddy. Around family, around old friends. You're back in the mix. Boots on the ground, as you like to say. I'm getting lots of comments in the chat right now. Call me Slim Dog. Arm Zempic. The old Arm Zempic. He doesn't. I lost it when I saw that plate of food there, Mur.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to tease you like that. But I know you've been doing some workouts now. I know you've been skating a little bit besides the fasting.
Buddy, I've been busy. First of all, yeah, my week since the extravaganza, the deadline extravaganza, shout out to all our viewers and listeners who tuned in. Our numbers were amazing. Our numbers were insane. It was electric. Since then, my son has played in mid-ams. His team won what district? Is that what you would call it, Murls?
Yeah, for those states, it's a district. In New York, it's just New York State. You win states, but I know when I played, it was Pennsylvania, maybe Maryland or something. They kind of combine the Mid-America region.
Yeah, we had Mid-America. That's our region, region. Yeah. Region. We won our region, so we're going to. They qualified now to go to nationals the first year at their age where you're able and eligible to go to nationals. So that's pretty exciting. So we got that coming up in a couple weeks. And then on top of working Pens games and traveling, I traveled to Ottawa. I was involved in the Mario Lemieux fantasy camp, and it was awesome, buddy. It was so cool. I love it. I'm like just as happy as the guys that pay to be there, to be hanging around with, greats of our game that Mario has come in. I was like a celebrity ex-player too. I was a captain of one of the teams with Hall of Famer Pierre Turgeon. Great guy. Max Talbot was our coach. Shout out to him. Brian Trottier was our coach. And then we had Dougie Gilmore, killer, the great Maple Leaf and Calgary Flame and wherever else he was, St. Louis, I think New Jersey, Montreal. Those were our coaches. So 2 games a day, plus the biggest thing that I dominate at, because I love hanging out with the boys, Murls, is lobby beers, the lobby bar. Lobby bar till like 2 a.m. and then get up, play 2 games or work Penguins games. I flew to Ottawa in between camps, so I had to take a little breather, but it was awesome. It was so much fun. The guys are great. Grant Fuhr to, Larry Murphy to obviously Mario, Ty Domi, all these greats are there. It was so fun. And Kevin Stevens. I could go on and on with everyone that's there. So it's just a great group of guys. So yeah, I've been burning
Talbot doesn't skate. He just coaches.
He had a surgery, I believe, on an injury that he sustained, maybe doing like jujitsu or something. Because Bugsy does do Ryan Malone. Bugsy was there. Bugsy actually his team won the camp, Murls. So Bugsy was in super try-hard mode, and he was blasting around out there. We had a guy on our team on a full-blown breakaway. Bugsy snuck up behind him, little speed burst in his back pocket, just as this guy's about to shoot. Bugsy picks his pocket, lifts his stick. See you later. So you got to let the guy get the shot, right, Mur?
I don't know. I was just going to tell you a story about the Bruckheimer tournament. When I was there for that, I did the same thing to Roenick. I back checked on him and I lifted his stick as he went to shoot. And he got so mad. He turned around, two-handed me. We started a little scrum like that. We both ended up in the box. He's chirping me. He's like, "You're brutal." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I am. I know you're better than me. Sorry I stopped you on the breakaway."
That happened to me last year with Paul Coffey. Those older guys are nasty with their sticks. Coffey slashed me in my ass cheek. Like it was like just with his blade, like a little toe of the blade whip. You know, you can whip a guy with your stick like that. Right in the middle of my ass cheek. It felt like I got shot. I was like, oh my God. Then I had a huge bruise on my, oh my God.
I get to say it's like the smallest thing, but it makes the biggest. It's crazy.
The biggest bruise on my ass cheek. I couldn't sit down for like a week just from this little whip of the stick from Coff. Of course, Coffey wasn't there, but he was on Sunday when the Oilers came to town. So all the boys were so thrilled. His son actually took his spot and played in. His son's a great player from Calgary, Alberta area. The king of the camp, though, I felt that was a legend in the lobby bar, a legend with the boys, had everyone going. They're playing cards. They're playing all these games. He's cheering. He's yelling. He's nuts. Matthew Barnaby, just electric. He was just electric. Out of his mind. Biggest beauty. I mean, I had a blast around him. He kept everyone highly entertained. So it was a great week, man. They do it top notch, head to toe equipment. I don't know if Poos has that picture I sent over. I don't know if he has it loaded up yet. You can see the jerseys. Oh, there's me, Bugsy Talbot, Chris Letang.
There they are.
This was the afternoon game against Edmonton. Tanger was around, and there's the jerseys. They did the Canada Cup version of every year. They do a different jersey set, Murls. So it's like, you know, throwback Penguins. They do like all these different looks that Mario has worn through his career. And this time it was the Canada Cup look with the blue. How sick is that? How sick is that?
Sick. But I got two questions about the guy in that picture with you. Number one, like, why is he still there? Is he just living in Pittsburgh now? He's been there for 3 weeks.
Well, they finally got a first win for him with him in the building since his retirement. They haven't. I don't know. They haven't won at all. They finally won a game last night, working that game, but it was a close call against San Jose. But he went home after his retirement and then came back. So he's been big time traveling, and of course he came back for Mario's camp, which he partook in and was around, which was awesome to have him around. I never met him before, even during the jersey retirement, because I was working those games. I was so tied up, and he was busy doing his whole act with whatever the ceremony and the days leading up to it entail. And so I finally got to meet him, played on a team with him for one game. He bounced around a little bit the one day, but he was kicking around the entire time. It was pretty cool to have him there. And of course, big news yesterday came out. I go to the rink tomorrow morning for morning skate, Murls.
There's my second question. Where are the bobbleheads, Army?
Are you saying it's me? I'm too busy to be ripping off bobbleheads. I'm too busy. The Jagr bobblehead heist is out of control right now. There's news cameras there. Like, I think this is going to be a documentary when it's all said and done of the great bobblehead heist for Jagr's bobbleheads. There's so much buzz around it too. And I think, I don't know, you tell me, I think this makes it bigger.
Oh, huge. I mean, I wouldn't even have known about it if it wasn't for this heist. So maybe it's the ultimate marketing scheme by your Penguins there.
Everyone's saying that. Everyone's saying it's a work. It's a, you're getting played, but it really happened. It really happened. I guess the delivery truck delivering it got robbed. I don't know what happened. I don't know the whole story. No one does. I guess there's an investigation or something, but 20,000, I think, bobbleheads or 19,000 bobbleheads stolen out of the back of a truck on the way here.
It's hilarious. Can't wait to find out the story, where they are. They're going to surface somewhere eventually.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, there was like real, like, not sports news, like news cameras at the rink at morning skate, like on the case, like they're on the case. They're going to solve the crime and report on the news. So pretty exciting stuff. Pretty cool. My week was awesome. I've been so busy, buddy, burning it at both ends, Murls, working, hanging out with the boys, doing that whole thing. So How's your week's been good?
Good. Yeah. We swept the weekend last weekend with the pick, so it came in so happy. Went a little cold. I went on Mr. Ice show on Tuesday. I got us back on track. I went 3-1. I couldn't get Mr. Ice on the board, but then yesterday I had a brutal day. So right now, like, I'm only doing good when I do a show. So it's good vibes for today and the weekend. Monday, Wednesday, I had no videos, no winners. I was brutal. So that's been a little rough. I'm getting chirped. I'm trying to figure out the light here. Problem is,
I don't. Good.
All right. Well, we don't have our guy G today. He's taking care of his girl Alana. So we just want to shout them out and know that we're thinking of them. And that's why if my lighting's not right, it's because we're missing G. But he's doing much more important work today.
Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah. Thoughts with G. Yeah. And Alana. I got to say on the chat right now, too, someone's saying that the bobbleheads are already on eBay, Murls. Someone found the bobbleheads on eBay. Someone in the chat saying
Silk Road or something.
Who knows where they are, but weight loss journey, Murls, little update. I kind of took a little bit of a step back because I was playing hockey. I had to break fasting because I needed energy to play. So I had some little meals, but I was highly aware of it. People that are following along, I'm down weight. I had a guy tell me at camp I look 10 years younger. So the journey continues.
There you
go. Journey continues. Here we go. I'm still grinding, still working. So everyone else in the chat or that watches us, that's doing it too. Stay with it. Hang in there. Zempic, the fast dog, slim dog, all that stuff. I'm still going.
Keep going. Boy. I got to skate in Monday night with the boys, and then the weather's been great here. So I've been outside running. Doesn't look too good in this shirt. These shirts always make me look a little puffier.
I hate them. Yeah. Well, you're slamming your neck into that collar, just like pushing and the choking. Every day I got to put one of those on. I snap. It just sucks.
It up here.
All right. Where are we going? What do you want to do here? We're going to snap her around a little bit here, Mur, on some hockey stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk some hockey here. First one up, it's kind of gotten old news now, but I wanted to hear about you being the big Western guy. And you started this whole kid up. You got him going right away. You were right on him right away. Rempe, what do you think? He didn't answer the bell at all the other night, in my opinion. What do you think? You're more of the big hitter and fighter than I was.
Before he was like, I sucked at fighting, but I just had to answer. Well, you know what? I just had to answer the bell when I was like chucked a couple big hits, and like you have to answer the bell. And Rempe suspended, and then turned down the McDermott fight, which I don't blame him. McDermott's like an absolute other level. He's raw bone tough, McDermott. So I don't blame him a little bit, but I've noticed obviously lately with the Reeves fight, he looked at the bench. This McDermott one, I think he's gotten like some marching orders, like, hey, tone it down, kid. Like, pick your spots. So I think he's kind of learning. McDermott did chime him after the game, though, and said, like, there's rules. You hit Bastion. Now I'm here. Now I'm in the building. Like, you got to answer the bell. You got to figure it out. You got to man up. I think he said he wasn't a man. But we see Rempe like maybe starting to figure it out a bit. I think people have been on him for this. He can't be slinging it all the time and just, dropping the gloves at a whim now that he's got the, the heavyweight division all fired up. Everyone's licking their chops now. It's totally different. Western guy, though. There was a lady at the Lemieux camp, one of the campers' wives, I believe, who's friends with Rempe's mother. And she saw our show. She sent her like a clip of us like talking about Rempe. And she was like loving it, her kid. So she's like, can you send his mom a video? So I was like, I sent a video to her. I said, you created a monster and I love it. I sent this great video to Matt Rempe's mom. So shout out to Matt Rempe. Shout out to the Western boys mixing it up. Lots of tilts lately. Everything's getting way bigger, Murls, right now. The race is heating up. So
heating up.
Let's
move over to the team blowing this race. It's a disgrace. And I'm a Wings guy. I like the Wings. But did you hear what happened? They put this new, what do you call it? A patch, an ad. They put that on the jersey, and they've gone 0-7 since they've put that on the jersey. And the worst part of the whole thing is making Wings fans go nuts. It's a trash company. So they put that on, and it just been playing like trash ever since. So I know it's big news. It's brutal. I don't know why you don't just get rid of it. Get rid of that money. I talked about it with the helmets. It's the NHL. Get rid of this stuff. It's the NHL.
I think our boy Heat Daddy went on a big rant on that too. I saw on social. He's like, this is an original 6 jersey. How do you desecrate it with a trash company on your thing? And like, what are we doing? Does the Leafs really need to have milk on their jerseys? Like, what are we doing? Like, he was just going off. And I loved it.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He's maybe one of my favorite Twitter follows, the old Heat Daddy. He's on fire. So shout out to Heat Daddy for that. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's a point there. Maybe there's a point. Like, can they get money another way? Like with these like original jerseys that look so clean and nice, and you're putting these on there. And does it have anything to do with Larkin too? Like I mean, they're mostly Larkin, but partly the trash logo. Yeah. They're getting some good publicity from it in a bad way a little bit. But that has heated up the East. That is heated up absolutely.
That's what they're trash, but it's made the race the opposite of trash. It's awesome. Everybody's back in it. Islanders, Sabres, Capitals. Your Penguins are somehow hanging on.
Here we go. Yes, Poos.
Wow, I love look at this. Poos.
Look at this. 5 points out of the Pens now. They were like long gone out of it. Now they're back in it. Look at this right now. This is going to be the biggest thing, I think, for that second wild card spot, at least for the time being. And who knows, going to slide again. But Detroit, because they slid, has brought all those teams back in the mix. So many more fan bases, Murls, are playing meaningful games.
I forgot to say the Devils. I see Singsy. He's in and out of the chat today. He said he'll watch later. But the Devils are even back in it somehow.
Somehow they're back in it. And they were long gone, like left for dead. All these teams were left. I thought the Penguins like a week and a half ago were like left for dead. And now you see where they're at. And they haven't been winning at all. And they're still hanging around in there. So no one wants to walk away with this. No one's stepping up and taking it. Detroit's been in a perfect spot, and they've absolutely blown it. Can you imagine the temperature in that room right now, Murls?
Oh.
Can you imagine what they're feeling?
They had to fight in practice the other day. That still didn't work. They get worked. They've lost 2 games to the Coyotes in the last week. The Coyotes have 4 wins like this season. They're terrible, and they've beaten the Wings twice this week. So it's really, really ugly there. But Larkin he's the motor, and it's showing now that he's everything for them. So
I think I'm you know what I thought about when you mentioned that? I thought about Robert Bertuzzo. Do you remember a few years ago when the Blues won the Cup?
Yeah.
Binnington went hot, but then they were like dead. They were long gone dead. Everything was brutal. And Bertuzzo in practice like shredded that Sanford. You remember how bad of a beating he put on his own teammate in practice? It was someone got it on video and it kind of went viral at the time, and like everything just kind of turned around. We're seeing someone in the chat, Bowen Byram, too, right now with some fire logos behind him. Oh my God.
We're gonna get to him in a
little bit. We'll get there. Oh, Laura's out too. Laura's leaving the chat. She's got to go. Shout out Laura.
I think she left a parlay though.
Oh, Zach's pissed. Laura parlay, put it on the
Where is it? There it is. I'll read out the Laura. 4 shots for Kempe, 3 shots Connor, Bedard 2 shots. Or wait, no, start over. 4 shots for Kempe, 3 shots for Connor and Bedard, 2 shots for Vetrano, 3-way Kings and Jets plus 1179. I'm sure she got those odds at DraftKings Sportsbook. So that's the Laura. A lot of shots. Shot night. Can do some Jameson shots. That feels like St. Patty's Day.
JMO for sure. I was going to ask you, do you do that? Do you do JMO?
Oh, no, but I know I'm done with those. But all of a sudden last Saturday, I go out to watch the Bruins game down at the local establishment, the Rock, famous place. We start doing Irish car bombs. You know what those are? You drop
it in a Guinness, right?
Yeah, half Jameson, half Bailey's. Drop it in the 3/4 Guinness. This place, boom. Everybody's like, we end up doing 5 of them. I'm way too old to be doing that. But everybody was in St. Patty's Day gear. It was a big party, like an Irish pub crawl last weekend. So this weekend will be even crazier. So
I can just picture you doing your shot. I can picture you doing a car bomb and then being like, everybody rides, like when you're all buckled.
Yeah. I was so happy because the Bruins were winning. It was the Bruins day game, EBR rule number 2. They're up 4-1, 5-1. We were having a time.
Well, we got moving on in some hockey stuff. We got some Western Conference going on as well. What are you seeing there right now? I think Vegas is the big topic for me.
Yeah. So same as we talk about Larkin, that he's the guy that stirs the drink. I think Vegas is nothing without Stone.
It's crazy.
I watched that whole game last night versus Calgary, who's horrible. Calgary has no defense. They're horrible. Everybody's been putting 5 or 6 up on them. They have an AHL goalie in, and Vegas just kind of cruised through the game. They got up 1-0, but then they just folded and gave the game away at the end. They did not look like a Stanley Cup team. And Stone, I feel like we always talk about big high fives and the energy. They're missing that, and they might miss the playoffs now.
It's unreal. It's Vegas in the same division, LA 77 and 77. LA's in third, Vegas in the second wild card spot, 77, Minnesota 73. I mean, that's
Minnie's hot. They got some jam. They got some mojo going too. Your boy Fleury's on fire. He had a shutout last night. They look good
pulled one of the greatest moves ever as well, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
You want to get into that?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can move over to the Chiclets Chirps right now.
Yeah, let's jump into that.
Yeah. So Chiclets Chirps. If you listen, go listen to Spit and Chiclets. Great episode. Justin Thomas, Chaser,
Kelly Chase.
Yeah. He what a warrior that guy is. Make sure you go listen to that. But they're talking about the goalie pull. Minnesota pulled the goalie with overtime, and we talked about it. I think it was our second episode last year when I told you about. Timra was doing it, and I was showing the clips of Fedorov doing it in the KHL, and it finally happened. And then those bozos on the main station, Chiclets, are like, "Oh, did Murls and Army even know that you lose the point in NHL?" Yes, of course we knew that, Biz. We do our homework over here on Game Notes. We check the game notes. We knew you lose the point, and that's why it never happened before. But Minnesota was desperate. They needed the extra point. They couldn't let Nashville get the 2, because that's maybe one of the teams they're chasing. So they had the balls. They went for it. And I don't know if I was on here, but I've talked about it before. The key was with Timra, they would wait till the team was a little bit tired. And also, if you notice who was out there for Nashville, it's all offensive players, guys that have no clue how to set up for a 4-on-3 to kill it. So it was genius move by them. Love the Wild. And that's all I got on that.
On our clip, we predicted like maybe Monty would do it, or maybe Sheldon Keefe, the Leafs, they have the firepower to do it. We did that. It ended up being John Hines with the biggest marbles, needs a wheelbarrow. He's desperate to get his team back. That might be a point that like gets him in the playoffs, getting that extra point. I mean, it could have been a bigger deal because they could have lost all the extra point or 2 points. Instead, the one goalie too, to be the guy that's, elite or goofy enough or whatever is I see during the game, Fleury, they have the puck in the neutral zone. Fleury just comes whipping through the play to the bench. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Then
you never know with Fleury, like what he's up to. So it could have just been something crazy he's doing on his own.
Who knows if John Hines even said, get to the bench. He might've just done it on his own and said, we've got to win this game. He's a lunatic. And he goes to the bench, and Boldy with a one-time. Boldy's a beast. This kid's a horse. He's huge. He's got long range. He can bomb pucks. So that could be a difference maker too. That like when guys have fun like that, Murls, and you start doing some shit like that, and you get a win doing that, it's infectious. It's infectious for their group. So finding fun in the game. Of course, you're in the heat of the battle. I loved it. It was awesome play. They end up getting the extra point. They end up winning. They have the balls to do it. They're desperate enough to do it. Thank you, NHL. Thank you to these guys that do this, because it elevates, I think, the theater of battling to get into the playoffs right now. It's just the fighting's up, hitting's up. Games are just so important right now. Everything's elevated. And then we see like a outside the box move like that, where we usually, in the NHL don't see that kind of stuff. It's like pretty safe a little bit. Everyone's like, okay, this is big. But, finding a way to get it done and finding an advantage to do it. Pretty amazing stuff. I loved it. And a great episode. Yeah. The new Chiclets that just came out. Justin Thomas, a big Pens fan. Great interview. And my boy from Saskatchewan, Kelly Chase, and his battle right now. Go listen. He's a beauty. He's got best stories. Just awesome guy. Been around hockey his whole life. Savvy businessman as well. But he's in a fight right now. So we're thinking of Chaser. Great guy. Great episode. What else we got? Sandbagger.
Yeah. Yeah. First, the least surprising news on the last Chiclets, RA, and he had friends that were on Jerry Springer. I got a chuckle out of that. Like, of course, RA did. And then, the Sandbagger dropped. Get over, watch that. Amazing. Sean Avery and Conley on there. And what happened with that? Do you know that whole story?
I don't know exactly the story, but I'm seeing what's going on social media. Like, what's going on with this?
Yeah, Kevin Conley. Everybody knows him as E from Entourage. Best show ever. I guess Jersey Jerry used to work for his media company or something, and then got fired, but never got his pay. So he was so
this is what he's claiming. He's claiming this happened.
Yeah.
And Jersey so have we heard a rebuttal back? Have we got a rebuttal?
I don't know, but I was watching. This was all happened on the Unnamed show yesterday with Minahan, Dave, and Witt. And Jersey Jerry called in. He was so mad at Witt for like laughing at him and like playing golf with him. And Witt's like, well, I didn't know anything about it. Like, hold on, let me check around. So he was trying to get the other side of the story live because their show's live too. And he couldn't get a hold of anybody live. But there's something that's going to go on later on. Go over and watch the Sandbagger and read all the comments. It's Jersey Jerry's army's in there, but
they're saying
I don't know the
justice
whole
for
story.
Jerry. I saw justice for Jerry, I think was the trending topic. I don't know it. I'm looking forward to an update on this. I love Jerry. He's one of the great personalities on Barstool. He interests me so much. Everything he does is somehow interesting to me. I think just because him being him, just a beauty. Big Steelers guy too, which I love.
Yeah.
And
we
so
love him. Like he's the funniest guy.
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Of course, captured all our hearts with the hole-in-one stream. Just amazing stuff he continues to do. Just hilarious guy.
Did you see the last one with the feet judging?
No.
You see that one? So he does
that.
this, what does he call it? Arch Madness. He's judging girls' feet behind a curtain. So Big Cat shaved his legs, went in like a tanning bed, got his nails done, put toe rings on and bracelets.
Oh, I saw that.
Like girls' feet. And like Jerry like moved them up. I think he won a couple rounds. And then when they got eliminated, Jerry's like, I would have liked to seen Carlita go on further. And it was just
he loved it. Hey, I thought Big Cat looked like he might have had like club foot or something with his one foot.
He had like tights on. He put on like the Lululemon tights on. Big Cat went all in. It was hilarious.
The toe rings were a good touch.
Laugh.
Yeah, if you need a laugh, go check that out. Those guys are awesome. Awesome. Big Cat's awesome. So amazing stuff. Chiclets episode this Tuesday just dropped. Sandbagger last night was live on YouTube. You can go watch it now. And all platforms, wherever they show it, Rumble, everywhere. So we want to get into your beer league heroes, Murls.
Yes.
We got beer league heroes. There's a new rule alert, a new rule alert. And I don't know if we were doing any more new rule alerts here on beer league heroes, but Murls, you've got something for us.
Yeah, I thought we covered them all last year, but today I got video today. A new rule needs to be out there. You need to air your bag out. That doesn't mean just go in the garage and unzip it. You need to unzip it. You can pull all the equipment out, maybe hang up some of the stuff, get your bag completely empty. So when you go to pack it up for the next game, you know what's in your bag because you don't want this to happen. Roll the clip. All right, so a possum.
What do we got here?
A guy opens up his bag because he didn't.
Holy shit!
So he didn't unzip. He just unzipped his bag, and then he comes to the rink, doesn't air his bag out, opens it up.
Look at this guy
running around the locker room. These guys are jumping out of the way.
Buddy, those things are fucking vicious. He's got hockey gloves. I've seen people that you call an exterminator. Look at this guy. This is unbelievable.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I get this morning. I'm like, I was looking for something for Beer League Heroes. So I don't know if that makes great on the audio, but make sure you watch it on Rumble. Unbelievable. Possum in the guy's bag. Sick. I remember I played with a guy once. There was like a dead mouse in his skate when he got to the rink, but nothing like that. That was incredible.
That is insane. I was blown away that I just saw that, Murls. That's insane. Usually it's like bugs, like a spider or something creeps in, you open your bag and like a spider comes out, like, oh, gross, you left it in your garage airing out your stuff. That is insane. A possum in the guy's bag, but hang your gear up, air it out. You smell like crap. Don't just unzip it. I seen the guys, we ripped on the guys for roller bags, before. They just open up the big roller backpack flap and let it, and it's like a locker on the inside, the way they set it up. That's pretty lame, but at least do that. If you have it hung up nice, if you have one of those bags, I guess you can just do that, but you've got to hang up your gear. You got to air it out. It's the biggest thing I teach my kid. I'm like, as a hockey player, you have, your jobs that you have to do as a responsibility. The number one thing is take care of your shit. You got to take care of your stuff. And that includes hanging up your stuff when you come back, airing it out properly, taking care of your stuff so you don't smell like a freaking, Bigfoot. You don't smell like Bigfoot.
It's not hard to do. Like, we had the best things when we were kids before all this technology. Some guy made it. He put 3 wooden sticks together, nailed them all together, and then screwed in a bunch of hooks all over it. So it was like a hockey tree, and you could just hang all your gear on that.
Oh,
it would
yeah.
stay in like a nice little like coat rack. But it was so cool because it was hockey sticks, and you had lower hooks and higher hooks.
So the blades of the stick are the legs.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. I wish I still had mine. I feel like I had like one of those Gretzky white and red Titans on there. The thing was sick.
I'm a hero. I went on a store on the internet and I bought like lockers, like metal lockers, and I put them all together. There's like 4 in a row in my garage. It looks like a dressing room.
That's my dream. That's my
dream. I know. It's unbelievable, awesome. Right? It's unbelievable. I highly recommend
there, you'll just go sit there and have a beer. Sit there.
That's what I was picturing, like just sitting in the locker room. And I got some rubber mats for the outdoor rink. I move them into the garage after it's done. So I got it's like rubber flooring, no possums running around though. Thank God. That is unbelievable. I would be out of there. I would be out of there if that thing came out.
I got to shout him out. Sean Winnick is the guy that sent it to me this morning. And gave us permission to use them. Unbelievable. So thanks, Sean.
That is just a wild thing to see. These beer leaguers never cease to amaze us with what goes on in this league. Possums running around in the room. I've seen like TV shows where like exterminators or like wild animal guys come to like get a possum out of like a food pantry. It got in someone's house or like a cupboard. These things are hissing. They have like their teeth are freaking insane. They're pretty aggressive. The guy has like shark bite gloves on up to his elbows. He's handling these possums, getting them out of there. They're wrangling them. This guy had hockey gloves on. That's the ultimate. That guy should the show. That guy should go to the show for wrangling a possum with hockey gloves on in the dressing room. Can you imagine being in the lobby of the rink at like 11:30 at night and this guy comes out with a possum in his hands? I would be like, what are they doing in there? What kind of ritual do they have in there? What is going on with these guys? Puck Possum, Mike Hogan in the chat. Shout out. That's sick. Puck Possum. That's their new team name. That's the new team name right there. Great beer league heroes, buddy. Great beer league heroes.
Yep. I knew you'd like that. I kept that as a surprise.
You did. You did.
Put it sidecar to Sean. I go, don't tell Army. Don't show him.
Oh, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I didn't know what I was going to get. I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know what was coming up. That was electric. Shout out to those guys. That's a great clip. Sean Winnick, thanks for sending that in. Made my day seeing that. That's a great story. Everyone will be talking about that one. Jesus. Unbelievable. Where are we going next, Mur? You want to go riding the bus?
Yeah, so riding the bus. But before we go anywhere, I'll give out the quick pick because this is over in Europe. This is the SHL. This is the relegation now we're talking. This isn't the playoffs. This is the 2 worst teams. So whoever loses is going to get knocked down to the 2nd division.
So hold on. Let me explain this. What do I see there? What was that? I saw a thumbs up going on.
Oh, is that me?
Did you do that? How do you do there? How'd you do that?
Yeah, I forget. We were messing with this the other day. Ooh, look at
that. Oh, we're boomers. I'm laughing at that. That's sick. Is Memesy in there under the desk? Is Memesy working some action? Explain the knockout relegation round. So the SHL Division 1 teams get bumped down. Don't they have to? Are they playing against the Division 2? How did I get it on my camera screen now? What the fuck is going on here? Who's doing that?
No,
is that in the chat?
I think it's something new on here. If you do like,
is someone in the chat doing? If you get a thumbs up, it gives a thumbs up. Oh yeah, look at that.
There you
go. That's unbelievable. Holy shit! I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a good.
No, I remember one day before I did it by accident. We were doing it. Do the 2 and you get the fireworks.
No way.
I think, no, maybe I might have used mine up. Maybe there's a quote on it.
You just get one?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's unreal.
Yeah, so go back to the SHL. So the 2 worst teams, they're going to play in a best of 7 series. Whoever loses that automatically in the second league next year. So it's brutal for that because you lose all your contracts. The office staff will go from 80 people down to 20 people because now there's no TV money coming in or as much TV money. So it's a huge deal, be a huge series. But this team, HV71, is who we're taking 3-way, minus 125. They've beaten them 3 out of 4 this year. They just beat them 10-1. And I know you're going to like this other reason I like them. Our old teammate, Chris Beach, he works with them. He's their skills coach. And you'll see him on the bench if you're watching the game tonight. So HV71 3-way is the first way.
Beachy played for HV71, I think, for a time there, and he's doing skills stuff and working. So he's back over there like you, married a Swedish gal, and is over there helping out and working in hockey. He does a great job. I've seen him on a bunch of different little clips and skills sessions. If you want to find some cool stuff, I don't know if he does it now that he's probably working and helping out a team. Probably keeps it DL. I don't know, but good for them to have him there. So what is this again? Explain it to me again. It's a best of
best of 7. Best of 7. Whoever loses goes to the Mainzies of Sweden, as Zach Boychuk is saying in the chat. They go down to the Mainzies. Yeah. And then whoever wins the second league will come up to the SHL next year.
But they don't have to battle against each other, right?
It's no, not anymore. Team. It used to be like that, but now it's automatic. But it changes all the time.
Because I thought when I was there, this is in 2014, I think. They had I think they were doing it where you had to play a play in and a play out with the other teams that you get put into this like little tournament, I guess. And you have to you have to beat them to stay in Division 1. And
I played in those.
That's sick.
It was sick. It was 6 teams, play everybody twice, so 10 games. Teams with the 2 most points move up. And it was 4 second league and 2 SHL. So it was wild. It was pressure. I've talked about it before, maybe on regular Chicos. It was wild times. Cities going, like I wouldn't go out of my apartment because if everybody in the city's like looking at the food you're eating, let alone if you were having a beer, you're not allowed to do anything. You're like, what are you doing?
It's people's lives. It's your jobs. It's the town. It's the community. So that's so big. And I think that's why they play so scared at times in Sweden. When I was there, they're so scared. They want to get the points so bad because like getting into that relegation area just means so much to everybody there. It's like the most stressful time in those leagues to be able to do that. So keep an eye on that. What was the pick again? Give it to us again.
This guy chirped me in the chat. Brennan Butin, 6 teams, 2 games each equals 10. Murls math. Like, yeah, right? That's right. You play the 5 other teams twice, 10. Brendan, what are you chirping me about?
Brennan, tell us where you're from.
Yeah,
Brennan, we got to see. I want to see where you're from.
I want to see where you're from. What is he, some Harvard nerd? By the way, shout out, riding the bus segment. Shout out to RPI, my college team. They upset last weekend. They got to go into Quinnipiac, though, this weekend.
Yeah, what do we got? We got big stuff going on right now, and Chiclets University isn't with us, and so what do we got? I'm worried about my buddy Benny Barr. I'm worried. I'm going to be following that. I like Benny Barr, great guy, head coach of Maine Black Bears, and there's big implications in NCAA hockey right now as the season and playoffs are on.
Yeah, so that's what everybody's getting down to the league, like quarterfinals. Some of the smaller leagues, I think, are semifinals. Benny Barr, our first ever Game Notes guest. Maine, they're playing New Hampshire in the Hockey East quarterfinals tomorrow. All the Hockey East quarterfinals are tomorrow. So we will take Maine 3-way tomorrow with our guy Benny, minus 130 on DraftKings Sportsbook. So that's my college pick for today, but all the games are going to be big all weekend. The ECAC, like RPI, is 2 out of 3 this weekend. So it's really a fun time if you're a college hockey fan, and it's all leading up to Minnesota for the Frozen Four, which we will be at. I was watching Bucci and Colby Cohen's show yesterday, and we were all talking. I was in the chat talking about that. It's going to be an amazing tournament. Everyone knows it's probably going to be at least BU and BC there, which is electric. So if that happens, maybe we get Whit and Biz to join us out there.
I got to be a chat moderator for a second. We're just piling on Brennan. We're just piling on Brennan. Brennan's math. Yeah. Everyone's sending Brennan to the Mindsies. There he is. He's back in. Yale's better than Harvard, guy. He says. Okay, he's taking it with a good step. He's taking it. He's taking it in stride. The chat's all over him. Brennan, we love you. Let's tone it down on Brennan a bit, okay? Yale. What's Yale?
We're all friends here. I was just
friends.
messing with another ECAC guy.
Yeah. Just trying to kick his ass. Thanks for coming on, Brennan. Just taking a beat down. There's another Brennan in here. He's got the same name. He just got here. He thinks he's getting abused. It's a different guy. Oh my God. That's so funny.
Love you too, Brennan. Thanks for coming.
Everyone's apologizing to Brennan now. What a great chat. We got the best chat, buddy. But my question to you, Murls, with the NCAA hockey stuff, and I know they got the different divisions and they play out of their divisions and whatever ECAC and whatever the hell they call it and all over the place. But it's like, why don't they just do like the brackets? Why don't they make it cool like that? Why can't we do that? Like 1 versus 16, both like
we get that next week, or not 2 weekends from now. We'll get that. We'll get the 16 NCAA tournaments. This is still all league stuff. So, and all the leagues are kind of wacky. Like, I don't understand. Like Hockey East had some games this week, one-on-ones.
And they do it different.
Only had to win one game last weekend to move on. And this weekend, it's best of 3. And then next weekend, it'll be in Lake Placid. It'll be back to best of 1. So that's really wacky. But once that's all done, we get our 16 teams in the NCAA. They go into the bracket, come into the 4 teams for our Frozen 4.
I can't wait. That's in a month from now, I think, pretty much on my schedule, right at the end of the NHL season. And then the Frozen 4.
Minnesota is awesome. They love college hockey. It's a great venue. I was there before for it.
Hope it'll be electric. I'm sure it will be. I loved Tampa last year. I think it should be in probably Tampa every every year just because of the setup.
Awesome. I remember we're at the pool with Benny. Having beers. What a life that was.
It was pretty sick. And then seeing everyone there. So Minnesota will be awesome. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Good luck to all those teams ripping through, especially our boy Benny Barr. Game Notes, friend of the show. Friend of the show, early.
We had him on twice. Did we have him on again this year? I think so.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. 2 appearances, 2 interviews, 2 sit downs. Benny Barr, unbelievable. We got the picks in for this too, Murls.
Yep, 2 picks for that. But I got some news from the lower levels. This is where G would be all over this. The ACHA, as he calls it, I think, the ACHA, the Division I championship. Got to shout out Adrian College. They won 3-0 over UNLV. It's their 3rd title in 6 years. So that's a dynasty, 3 titles in 6 years. So congrats to them. The second one, ACHA Division II championship, was mayhem. So Miami, Ohio was down 5-2. And the kid on the other team, who was it? I forget who they were playing even, took a spearing penalty, speared a guy in the balls, 5-minute major with 3:01 left or something like that. So they go on the power play. They get 1, 5-3. They take the puck, pull the goalie. They get another one, one. They scored 5 goals in the last 2 minutes and 48 seconds to win the championship 7-5. It's wild. If you want to see the highlights, our buddy Chris Peters, friend of the show, it's on his Twitter. That's where I saw the highlights. Unbelievable. So congrats to Miami, Ohio on that epic comeback.
The ACHA. Yeah, that's up G's territory. The ACHA. Shout out to those guys battling. But it's funny how one little thing in a series or a game can swing it, momentum, and everything's building. They're going to send that guy from that school now. He's going to go to Yale. They're going to send him to Yale, Murls.
Keene State. That's who it was. Keene State. Thank you, Latarian.
In the chat. Thank you to the chat. Oh, yeah, Murls. I'm getting so much because I was in Ottawa with the Penguins. And just being at Penguins games, I get like people shout out to our little community and our fans and people that enjoy the show and take part in the show. Of course, the chat, and you guys are such a big part of it, but I get like game notes yelled at or like love the show. There was a guy that I went and did the media meal. That's my time when I eat. So I got in there, I got the media meal. Saw Mark Mathot in there, ex-player working, covering the Senators, had a good chat with him. The guy that was serving the food, though, young kid, he's like, man, I love game notes. Just a random guy that was working at the rink. So we're getting that. I'm getting that everywhere I go, all over the place. So it's pretty cool to hear. So thanks to everyone for that. We want to get to Friday. Want to get into some picks. For the
picks. I see the chat. Chat has been well. They're not too antsy. I see a couple of guys looking for picks. Got to get it back on track. Here we go.
Let's go.
Only 2 games tonight, so it's a little boring slate. This is maybe a night you take off. You take the old lady out for dinner, or you watch the movie, because there's only 2 games. But you know, us hockey lovers will find a way to make it both work here. But our Jets, bad game the other night. Scheifele was sick. Reports are he's healthy from my insider with the Jets. So I'm just going to take a -1.5. It's kind of sucks. It's -142. I saw if you add Connor for a point, you can get it to +100 on DraftKings. So that's a play if you don't like the 142. But our Jets are great. Ducks are on a back-to-back. They're done. So I really like our Jets to rebound. And then in the next game, the Kings I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm just going to go with our guy Fiala anytime +140. Our Sandbagger guy. I just sent him a girl dad hat from the Barstool. He just had a baby daughter, so he wanted the girl dad hat. So I got one of those for him. And he's been on fire since we got him that hat. And then obviously Bedard +170. When the Hawks have it, you're going to want to be rooting for him to score. So that's just a fun way to watch that game tonight.
I'll tell you what I would do, and I'm going to call it the Armzempic parlay. I would parlay both those games. Jets, Kings -1.5.
Okay.
I don't know what the odds would be in that, just because I just liked it and I just named it the Armzempic. I see Jazz in the chat. Big lax guy.
For you.
Yeah, you look it up.
+221.
There we go. That's a beauty right there. I love that. You know, I love the 1.5. I love that. I love that puck line Jesus stuff.
I had that for our Chiclets bet on what night was that? I did our first ever Chiclets bet on DraftKings.
Was it Tuesday night? No, Wednesday, Tuesday night, Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
night?
TNT. It was Wednesday. So I wanted to do both TNT games because Biz was on and we'd be watching. So I did Kings -1.5 and Oilers -1.5. Kings no-showed, and then Oilers obviously took care of business. But that's actually a good reason to take the Kings -1.5 because they screwed up our parlay Wednesday. Yeah. So now they'll come back.
It's like when you're playing blackjack and the dealer gets a blackjack, then you stack on the next one. That's the play. That's in my head. That's what I do. I seen Jazz in the chat. Our boy Jazz. He's a lax guy, big lax guy. Hopkins -7.5. If I'm right with that, people look into that. Men's lacrosse, that's on right now. The Zem play, someone's calling my parlay. The Armzempic Zem play. I like that.
I'm taking that. I'll ride with that.
Thanks, Will. Yep. Everyone ride with that. Weight loss journey continues. Armzempic, slim dogs, and rolling right now. Just throwing a parlay together quick for you. Only 2 games on a Friday, Murl. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Brutal. A lot of college basketball, though, to fill the time. There's games starting right now at 12.
There's games here in Pittsburgh. I've never been to a college basketball game, so I might have to hit up some of those games. I kind of want to
next week. Yeah, I think the tournament, like the real tournament, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they have the big thing. I went into the rink yesterday down low in the bowels of PPG Paints Arena. They have all the flooring there ready to get put in and hosting some games. They do it every couple years, I think. Here they get games in here for like a regional area that'll come in and play some playout games. So big games, tournament games. I might have to do that. I'll keep you posted if I get to an actual game. I've never been to a college game before. Army will be in the middle of it in Atlanta. Yeah, I will be. I'll be in Atlanta coming up here. I'm going back to work some TNT with Jazzy Boy. So that stuff will be all on like crazy up there. That studio will be bumping. Yep. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, what's this guy? Live game notes from Tom Reed's in St. Paul. You never know. We'll be out there on Friday. It'll be Thursday are the 2 games. Friday's an off day. Championship Saturday. We could maybe get something like that going. I know we'll probably do a party. We'll have a Pink Whitney party or that blue Big Deal Brew party or something like that.
Yeah, we will have something set up out there, and we'll keep you posted as it comes and where it's going to be. But we hope to see everybody in at the Frozen Four. We'll be mixing and mingling. Tampa was electric. We were rubbing elbows with everyone, ripping it up. Great. It was so fun. It was so good. It was so fun.
That bar was awesome. I love that.
It was awesome. Hat tricks. That's where we were. Hat tricks, baby. All right, let's go. Our favorite segment and yours as well. This is a segment, show or mindsies. Murls, kick us off. Show.
I got my Buffalo Sabres. They were done. They were dead in the water. They're back in the hunt. They've won 8 out of 12. One of those losses was an OT. They caught a point. They've been wearing those goat head jerseys. We talked about that with Darlene, that they should have wear them every game. They seem to be wearing them more. They're scoring a ton when they do. Bo Byram pickup. Everybody kind of, what is this move about? They already have 5D that are left-handed. He comes in, guns a-blazing, 3 goals, 3 games. The AHL coach, Seth Appert, down in Rochester. My brother was at the game last night with Sabres Islanders with his kids. Apps gets my brother and his kids down there before warm-ups. Nash and Trent are giving high fives to the players as they go out for warm-ups. They go and win 4-0. So whole
That's
Buffalo
huge.
Sabres, whole organization, top to bottom, up to the show. Keep this thing rolling for us.
They're 3 points out right now. Pretty amazing to see where they've done and put themselves in this picture after everyone has them written off and another disappointing season and blah, 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 blah. And shocker, Bowen Byram, Western guy, Western Canadian guy, dub guy, stud. They go get him. He's come in. I think he's put in a position. I know he's playing. There's Powers, there's Darlene, but now him in the mix as well with kind of maybe a more prominent role, I would say, as letting himself be that guy. Just a really good, smart player. Stanley Cup champ, has had some concussion issues in his past, missed extended periods of time, but great player. They got a really good one in him, and they're making it interesting. Buffalo, sirens are going off. You are in the hunt right now. Absolutely to the show, Murls. Great call.
Remember they did this last year before you go? Yeah. They did it last year. They made this run and missed it by a point. So that was pretty crazy.
They always blow it in like October or something. They always have traditionally October or November early in the year where they just have 1 month that derails their entire season, and then they're scrambling. So good to see the Sabres making a push, and it should be interesting down the stretch. My show, I'm sending to the show all of the equipment, medical trainers, skate sharpeners, everyone that came in to work the Mario Lemieux camp. We all know that Murls, that these guys, even in day-to-day action and regular jobs of these guys doing it, don't get as much recognition as they should for keeping everything together, keeping everything moving, keeping everything going. So to the Lemieux camp trainers, massive shout out to you. I'm sending you guys to the show. You make the experience for the campers, and even a guy like me, ex-NHL player, feel like I'm back in the NHL again with unbelievable stuff behind the scenes. If you have something wrong, they fix it with your equipment. You can imagine all these beer league guys that are there. And it adds to the experience of what you're supposed to be like at a fantasy camp. They made it so good. Painter to all the trainers that on my team anyways, all the trainers on the other team, Benny skate sharpening here in Pittsburgh, sharpen everyone's wheels every day, made sure everyone was taken care of. Equipment issues, the boys got it done. Everything was there, tape, sticks, everything. It was amazing what they did. Packed up everyone's gear at the end, just like you're in the show, shipped it over to the hotel. We were in there at the end, the last day, after the big wind-up meal, back to the hotel lobby bar, equipment, sticks, all set up, waiting for you to take it to your room or put it in your car or whatever you're going to do with it. Shout out to all the trainers out there and the Lemieux camp trainers.
Yeah, shout out all the trainers. I had a little tweet today about the Devils, how these Devils equipment guys changed the goalies because they got 2 new goalies. They didn't want their colors. They were there with hours for Sharpies and these stickers. My buddy Schmitty, his brother's works for the Devils equipment guy, and he's hours spent on this to make Jake Allen look good last night, and then he played good.
Sean Winnick, is that the guy? He's in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
He's starting a position. Sean Winnick, shout out. The guy with the possum. The guy with the possums in the
Possums,
chat.
new team name,
Puck Possums. That's a great name, and the story with it is unbelievable. Sean, unbelievable. The chat never ceases to amaze me. Sean's in the chat, unbelievable. Let's go. Mindsies, Murls, kick us off.
Oh my God, this one. I almost forgot about this. I thought this was going to be the highlight of the show before I got the possums.
I don't know what's coming here.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So we're at Beer League having a couple blue lights after the skate. Stories are flying around. All the guys I play with, a lot of their kids all play youth hockey together. So it's constant. Oh, this, that, blah. They're leaving for this team. They're leaving for this team. You won't believe this. this guy tops the story. He goes, you won't believe it. I'm over coaching the other day, and this little Johnny comes over to him and goes, hey, coach, can you put this back in my helmet? And the coach is like, what? What is it? He hands him this thing. I think, Poos, we have the picture. He hands him this little black like box. And he's like, what? I don't even know.
So it fell out of the kid's helmet?
Fell out of the kid's helmet on the ice. The kid picks it up and brings it to him on the bench. And what the hell? And he's like,
it's an intercom.
He goes, this is so my dad can tell me where the puck is when I'm skating around and tell me what to do. So now not only are they not like, we would say, don't yell with the kid to do from the stands. I was afraid this would happen someday. Now they're putting the earbud in and talking to him like he's the quarterback in football. Puck's in the corner. Go to the corner. Go stand in front. 2 hands on your stick. 2 hands on your stick. Get back. Get back. Like, you can't allow this, can you?
My mind is blown. Like, I knew something like this would probably exist. I knew it. Yeah. I knew it. And you got a guy that's like working his 9 to 5 that has the ears of the kid. While he's on the ice, the car ride isn't enough. The car ride isn't enough. The video sessions at home from daddy hockey guy isn't enough. The coach at the rink isn't enough. Now we got to have these jabronis in their kids' ears while they're playing.
Unbelievable. The coach is a former pro. So he's good enough.
Shout out to Brendan in the chat that was getting ripped on. He put in quotations, get to the mixer. Get to the mixer. Oh my God.
Oh my unbelievable. God. So
what'd the guy do? Did he hook it back into his helmet or did he put it in his pocket?
No, he trashed it. Threw it out. Like,
where do you get that on Amazon?
I was always wondering about that, like when that was going to happen. It really happened to the Mindsies. Now that we brought it, I probably shouldn't even have brought it up. That don't even think about doing it. Anybody in the chat?
Like, what website is that on, Murls? Can you say the website?
Oh,
this is unbelievable. This is a new low. This is a new story.
It's a new low.
This is a topic of its own. We should do a show on microphones and speakers in kids' helmets now. How many kids do you think in America are doing that? Parents are doing that to their kids. Just in America. We haven't touched Canada. Just in America. Fuck.
We got to maybe talk to these companies and like we could figure out their sales somehow to where they go. If they all go to like Michigan and Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, we know it's hockey. We know there's extra ones. I guess Pennsylvania big football too.
But I would love to know that if anyone in the chat has more of these great youth hockey stories of this kind of these kind of things, this is unbelievable. This is so good.
And that's what I was talking to the guy. I'm like, you got to go on the rink shrinks, Yandel and Amados. You got to go on there and tell this story. Like, that's the rink shrinks for anybody listening. They're all about youth hockey and trying to clean up youth hockey. They're the best, good guys, and that's the Mindsies. These earpieces, Mindsies. What do you got, Army?
That's unbelievable. I can't get over it. Have they talked about that on Rink Shrinks? You think? I'm sure that's come up. I'm sure there's something. It's just amazing to me. I can see the dad on the side. I can see him on the glass, like standing by himself. Like, what's the other recording device look like, or like the microphone? Does he have like a little handheld thing, or does he
like a little pen like this? Like
he has, he's like Inspector Gadget.
Mixer, little Johnny. Get back.
He's like, go, skate. Don't pass that guy. He sucks. Yeah. Don't pass to him. He's like, oh, keep going. Dangle. No, Michigan. Do the Michigan. Imagine these guys. This is unbelievable. I'm blown away. That's the greatest Mindsies ever.
I left beer league like in shock. Oh my God, what just happened? It like ruined my night almost.
I think it happens more than we think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it happens more than we think, which is crazy. But
is it almost cheating if you can tell the kid like, oh, the puck's behind the net, or go over there, or he's open, because you can cheat. You'd be like, he's open in front, just throw it to the crease.
Yeah,
and the kid wouldn't even have to look.
It's like hunting with a drone. I mean, what are we doing here? He's like, what did this guy say? Hit the gritty, do the gritty in the celly, do the gritty for Insta. That's what these guys are doing. Thanks, Ben, for that one. That's a good one. Unreal. Change. You got to change. Okay, my mindsies Murls is a little bit nuts. And I might get chirped for this too. I don't know. It's just like enough. And 2 weeks ago before the deadline extravaganza, my mindsies was what did I do? I did like teenage kids attitudes.
Teenagers. Yeah, you're all over your teenagers. They weren't listening to you.
Yeah, any kid, like you see them, like they don't like say like what's up, and like don't like it's just different now. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm a get off my lawn guy. Well, my mindsies this week is the guys in the show now, where the trend has become in warm-ups. There's like 8 guys on the glass doing TikToks for their babies, saying hi to the babies at the rink. Like you're seeing it every night now.
Yeah.
And like I can at one point I can say, okay, it's cool. Cause like, I wish I played longer. So like I could have had my kids around in the picture, around the room, around the guys, around the atmosphere, seen me play. That's like the coolest part about being a player when you have kids, is bringing them around, knee hockey in the room, hanging out with the boys, all that kind of cool stuff. Now, I don't know, like we're in an NHL game doing warmies and all the dads are blowing kisses, playing patty cake on the glass in the NHL. Like, are we going to continue this? When does this stop? Are we doing it in the playoffs? I imagine not, right?
Is that going to? When I have my money on a team, it's the last thing I want to see. Are these guys like not?
Oh, like, Dylan, L take Army.
Dialed in. I wouldn't even know the music that was playing. Like, did you hear that song in warm-ups? Like, no, I'm too dialed in.
No, you're dialed.
I got to do my routine. I got to do this. I got to get that guy a puck. I got to get my own puck. I got to give that guy a pass. The coach is probably watching me. If he sees me messing around, he's not going to play me. He'll pull me out of the lineup. Like, this was all going through my head.
Great White North on the chat goes, he's quoting me, wish my kids could have seen me score the first ever fastest Winter Classic goal. You're damn right. Yep. But you know what? I wasn't doing patty cake and warm-ups on the glass. I don't know how long we're going to see this for. It's a hot trend, though. Every team's doing it.
It was the same as the tummy sticks when all the brothers or the guys that played college together would get next to each other for the picture and warm-ups. Yeah. I played against a guy in college. I'd two-hand him behind the knee and at the red line. I wasn't taking a picture with him.
Yeah, it's just different right now. Guy says L take. I'm sure I'll take some L's for this one on the take side, but hard. What's this guy saying? Am I taking an L again from somebody here? Everyone's Army hates kids. See, I do that.
Yeah, there it is. And I feel like they're doing it every game. Like if you do it once during the season, like, okay, maybe.
It's part of the routine now, maybe.
Now it's every game. I feel like they're doing it, but I don't know. Hopefully it's different players. If it's the same player doing it every game, maybe I'm going to start looking for that if I can find that out.
Yeah, we got to see if that's it. So that's
I would say the first time, the first kid's first game, I probably let it go. But
yeah, like one time, like there's daddy,
there's like 5 guys down there all in the glass doing it. It couldn't have been all 5 of their first games.
They're doing puppet shows down in the corner on the glass, like doing little puppets. Like,
yeah, mine sees them. Let's get focused. It's March. Everybody's in the hunt. What's the best term for this time of year? Like crunch time, down the stretch. What's the good word for this?
Sorry, my mic went out there.
Uh-oh.
Bad.
Did you hear me at all? What's a good word for this time of year? The crunch time, the down the stretch for hockey. Playoff push.
Playoff push, down the stretch. Both those, I think we'll do. Someone's saying March Madness.
I think that's taken by something else.
Yeah.
March Mayhem, yeah. Something. Anyway, that's good. But I got more picks. Get more picks and let the people go and find a Guinness somewhere for the weekend.
Let's go. Saturday picks. We're into the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend. 14 games. 2 tonight. 14 tomorrow. Everything is happening. Colorado, Edmonton, I can see you're on that. That's a must-watch game. But a lot of them are Eastern Conference now that it's heated up, Murls, and you got a couple plays on that as well.
And that's usually led me right into that first one. It's my show team. It was a late ad. I'm getting on the Sabres. They're playing Detroit. I want to see Sabres win and Detroit lose again. I'm sorry, Red Wings fans, but I want the drama. I want the race. So
that's a 12:30 game too, which is awesome. Right out of the gates, get up, sleeping, you're tired still. Just don't rush out of the house. You got nothing to do. Just lay there and wait for 12:30.
Yep. Get a few odd jobs done early. Get some little cleanup around the yard a little bit so you feel good about being just a couch bum. So that's awesome. 12:30. I'm on that one. The next one is a little New York parlay. So I guess you could put all three teams together. Buffalo, but this one I'm doing just straight Islanders, Rangers, money line parlay, New York parlay. I want to watch both those early games. So those odds will be pretty big, but if you get the parlay, you'll probably get good plus money. Third game up, you see it on there, Dallas Stars, who just ripped my heart out last night. They were brutal because I love when the Devils lose, so we can chirp Pasha.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. But it's Modano Statue Day. I know you knew about that.
Yeah, a big Mike Modano guy, PA Raiders. My dad still says that one of the greatest junior players he's ever seen play, Mike Modano. Saw him in the press box in Minnesota when I was there. Beautiful guy. Yeah. Love seeing him. Just a stud. No one looked like him when he was flying down the ice with those epic skates that like he just jersey flapping. Modano. Modano statue.
They're putting a statue of him. I wonder if it'll have the jersey like hanging. That's his calling card. So I'm taking the Stars. The Kings will be on a back-to-back. It's going to be their third game, 4 days. That's Stars were crap against Devils. They got to respond. So I love the Stars there to win on Modano Statue Day. Next game up, you talked about it. Oilers, Avalanche, must watch. If you're a hockey fan, watch this game. Two most exciting teams playing right now, 100%. And I'm taking the over 6.5 because there's no way I'm sitting there watching that game and taking anything else. And if there's 100 goals in it, I want to be a part of it.
Oh, it's going to be aliens versus aliens. I mean, that's what it is with those stars in that game and the way these teams are playing. But Colorado, to me, is just a rocket ship. Just a rocket ship right now.
I love them.
I absolutely
love them. They're a different level. Next game up, last game, another team that's hot as pistol. The Predators, hottest team in the NHL, playing Seattle. I'm just not going to stop taking the Preds until they lose 2 in a row. I'm just going to take them every game. They're usually covering the puck line. They're awesome. So Preds money line to finish out the night out west.
Your guy, Swedish guy, Gus Nyquist is just having a year.
Too.
Sneaky having a year. Unbelievable what they've been able to do since they canceled the U2 concert. They all of a sudden became a player. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, unbelievable that they're right there. Wild card 1, they sit in right now. We'll see what they can do, but pretty amazing what Nashville's done. That's your last pick on Saturday, Murls.
Yeah, let me just do a quick recap for the clip to make it easier for everybody. Early game, Sabres money line, Islanders, Rangers money line parlay, New York parlay, Dallas Stars for Modano Statue Day. Kings are on a back-to-back, 3 and 4. Oilers, Avs over 6.5, and the Predators money line out west late game if you're up late.
Unbelievable slate on Saturday. Enjoy that day, folks. Tomorrow, I can't wait. Going to be awesome. Modano Statue Day. So good. So big. Those are some great picks, Murls, and just some good games, competitive games, because we're in, what did we call it? What did we settle on?
I don't know. Wild card chase. I don't know what
we're in the
on.
Stretch
time.
Crunch time.
Run.
I'll go stretch.
We're in the stretch run. Stretch run. I'm going to think of something good. We need to come up with something like that. Like the mixer. We need this.
Yes. The hunt.
The hunt.
Oh. They're in the hunt. Some hunt games. Some hunting games. Yes, I love it. Mixer madness, someone says.
I see Tim Connolly at the gym almost daily, thinking to ask him to join the men's league team. No, Timmy threw his skates out when he left. Although he's doing a thing tonight. He's in Buffalo tonight. Ryan Miller does his charity catwalk. They do like a fashion show. When Millsy played, they did this big fashion show every year. And I think this is the first time as alumni. So there's a ton of alumni in there. So if you're in Buffalo, I think a lot were at the game last night. I know Timmy's going to that tonight. Ryan Miller.
Yeah, go charity. Support that. Go support the boys. 100% if you're in the Buffalo area. Millsy, TC will be there. Love it.
I don't think he'll play men's.
No. He checked his wrists in. Those supple wrists and those sick hands are no longer. They hold cold ones, chilly ones.
I doubt he's at the gym every day.
Yeah, by the water fountain, chilling.
That one.
Sunday. Moving on. Here we go. We got 7 games. It cools off a bit from the big Saturday night 14 games. We got 7 games on Sunday. You got a bunch of plays for us in the EBR crew.
Again, 1 p.m. Wake up, get your odd jobs done. 1 p.m. Rangers, Islanders. Huge game. Always a fun game. We saw them at the outdoor game. Tons of scoring. So I'm going over 6.5 Rangers, Islanders. Next one up, Golden Knights 3-way. I think Vegas stinks. They're terrible.
What's up with them?
Without Stone, they stink. But it's the Devils. I like rooting against Pasha and the Devils. I'm taking Vegas. This is your last chance, Vegas. You better win this game, or I might cancel Chiclets Air for the finals trip.
Oh, we can't have this happening. Vegas, wake up.
Yeah. Give
wake
them your
up.
Game Notes wake up call.
And then you got one more for us?
Couple more. I'm going to do our Jets and Canes parlay. They're playing Columbus and Ottawa, so the odds will be brutal, but put them together just because I like watching both those teams. So I think that'll be a fun little parlay. Plus money we'll get on that. And then the last game, late game, Blues 3-way. Blues are not dead. They're hanging around. Binnington was awesome the other night. I watched that game versus LA. He was awesome. They're playing the Ducks. The Ducks they've given up. So Blues 3-way. See what the odds are. People, disclaimer, 2 days in advance. We don't know the odds. We don't know who's going to get blown out. The odds sometimes change. If the 3-way is minus 400, yeah, we're not taking that. We'll look at something like minus 1.5, or we'll put something in there. But as long as it's decent, we take it.
Little question in the chat. If we could get a statue, each of us, where would your statue be?
I would want it in Troy. I would want it in my hometown. It would probably be out when I was good at RPI, the glory days. It would probably
that's
be out
where I
front
would think.
RPI. Yeah, that would be
Murls
cool.
statue out front of RPI.
Yeah. We just raised a ton of money for the program yesterday. We did a big giving day. I made some videos. We gained we made $30,000 for the program, and some anonymous donor said if we could get the 30,000, they'd put in another 50.
Oh, so not even a match. They went above and beyond.
So we got 39, and then he put in 50. So we got 89 for the boys.
Wow,
so
that's huge.
They'll get them like some extra pair of shoes, or I don't know, some iPads on the bench. Just little stuff that all the bigger programs just take for granted. We have to find the extra money. So the alumni really stepped up and did a good job with that. And I reconnected a lot with them on alumni weekend when it was really fun here. Some great guys. Neil Little, I talked about, Xavier Magic, Tamburo. These guys are characters of the game. And so good things going to RPI. Go Red this weekend. That's all my picks for Sunday.
Good job for that. I'd put my statue probably in Red Deer, where I played junior. Or I always wanted it in Canada. With the Memorial Cup. Yeah, that'd be sick. If I could, that'd be, and then I think about too, like a goal, and it's harder being from the big city in Saskatchewan, but in Saskatoon, but it was always so cool, like driving through a lot of these smaller towns where it says like, welcome to Davidson. And then there's a sign there. It says like, for example, like hometown of Stanley Cup champion Braden McNabb. Welcome to Dave. Like he's from out in Davidson area. So all these little small towns, they all have these like awesome Sasky signs of their being their hometown and the home of whoever's from that town. And I always thought that was so cool, like a goal to get that done. So if anyone's on here from Saskatoon, send a petition into the city, home of Game Notes co-host Colby Armstrong. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be good.
That'd be cool.
That'd be good. That's what
ours says. Troy, New York. It's home of Uncle Sam, and that's what I always thought.
Yeah,
I gotta go. I gotta make NHL and be a hero and have it changed.
Yeah,
but there is an Uncle Sam statue, so maybe I'll just go build one right next to him downtown Troy. Just pay for it by myself.
Yeah. Just yours comes out. It looks like Ronaldo's.
Yeah.
Just your face is all mangled and melted. Just horrible because you couldn't afford to pay for like a really good artist. It just looks brutal. You look all skinny and jacked, though. You make yourself just a legend.
For sure.
Statues for everybody. Let's go. Shout out to Mike Modano, statue night this weekend. Great career. Amazing guy, amazing player. And that'll be an awesome thing if you can check that out. You're watching that game, tune in for that. But thank you. Thank you to the chat, Murls. You got any little extra little things? Okay.
We're talking beer league. This guy, Mike Wilson, sent me these books.
Willie that we played with?
No, I thought it was him. It was an older
Willionaire?
guy. And he sent me this book. He sent me like 8 copies for the whole Chiclets crew. I got a whole box here. I got one for you, Biz, Wit, R.A., Nell. I got them all. So give him a little shout out. He gave us a book.
That's awesome. Jacob says in the chat, Arm Dog's beak outside the elbow room. That's my statue.
Well, I think we're going back there. So right now,
huge hammer. You just have a huge bulge.
Oh.
Big outline on your statue. Oh, the chat. Oh, thank you, chat.
So right now, I've already made a call for Chiclets Aired. I'm trying to book like a flight service, and it's Colorado to Florida right now for the finals. Where would you book Chiclets?
Colorado,
Aired?
Florida?
Fine. Yeah, I don't see us not going to both of those.
So on the Chiclets extravaganza, you asked us are the game notes trade deadline extravaganza. You asked everybody guess that we had their conference finalists. I have Florida Rangers. Yeah, that's who I would pick. Edmonton, Colorado. And I don't know if it'll line up like that, but that's what I think. I don't know.
Who do you got? Chiclets there. Now a week later, who do you got in the finals?
I would say Florida, Colorado is what you said too, right?
Yes, I think I should book it. I think I should get on this.
Are we booking trips already?
I'm gonna try to run the charter for all the media. So we didn't remember the 4 a.m. flight we had to take.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. I think I had middle seat too. It was horrible.
And I flew from Vegas because I was there games 1 and 2. So I had to wait till the next day to fly to Florida. And then with the time change, I lost an entire day. So if I have Chiclets Air, we can charter that night right after the game and we get a whole day in Florida or vice versa, however it goes.
So much more comfortable, so much smart. Like if you, I don't know, you're the guy that's going to do this though. Like if there's a guy that's going to do this and come up with this idea, it's you. And you have the GM skills, the GM ability, the organizational ability, Murls. So I give you a shout out for that. If you're the guy to do it, there's no question. And that's it.
That's it.
Thanks. We're thinking of Alana and G right now.
Yes.
G couldn't be here today. Thinking of you guys. Thank you to the chat. And next week we will see you. Anything coming up in between this weekend? Anything we have to shout out?
No, I think that's it. All the vlogs are out. We had the vlog from TNT, the vlog from Outdoor Series. We had the Sandbagger. There's tons out there. We got game notes. Who knows what will happen next week?
Who's this? Jesse in the chat. Colorado in 5. New video going to be produced by the end of it.
Well, next weekend, too. Our guy, Mr. Ice, is IceCon in Arizona is the next
There we go. There's one. Yeah,
that's something to look forward to. Next weekend's March Madness basketball. I know Witt's going to Chicago office. Watch the games. There'll be stuff. Follow Chiclets. There'll be something out there.
No chat late today. I see in the chat asking for it. No chat late today. We didn't do it. Just a couple games tonight. So until then, we'll see you next week, 11 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. Everybody, happy St. Patty's Day, Murls.
There it is. Go grab a Guinness.
Right. Have a great weekend, everyone.